Sir. I'm Mike, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, IV drug user, I'm addicted to anything that feels good, you know what I mean? And I want to thank Robin for asking me to share my experience, strength, and hope, you know what I mean? I was told by my sponsor that if I'm asked to do something, no is not an option today. I have to freely give away what was freely given to me. So I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, right? And I'm a hopeless dope fiend that couldn't get this thing. Hopeless. I'm talking 22 rehabs. I'm talking 4 psych wards, 10 detoxes. I'm talking prison bids. I'm talking 358 days in the county. This is all wreckage of my past. I couldn't get this thing, man. I was constitutionally incapable of getting clean. I've had psychiatrists and doctors tell me that, maybe, just maybe, that, you need to go on methadone long term. Or maybe you need to go on Suboxone long term. Maybe you need to go on Vivitrol. I tried all these, all these things. And at the end of the day, I used. I woke up, I used. I went to bed, I thought about using. Halfway through the day, I thought about using. I could never turn that light switch off. So, like when I was a little bit about like what happened, what it was like and where I'm at now, I grew up in a household where nobody was ever home, okay? And, like from a young age, my father was addicted to making money and going to work, and like my mother was just too busy doing whatever she was doing, And, so I was at home by myself and nobody was ever around. And due to that, that made me feel like a piece of trash at an early age, And as I grew up, I carried that with me, that I'm a piece of trash thought. And when I got a little older, I started treating myself like a piece of trash. I had good things going for me when I was younger. I was really involved in skateboarding. I used to chase that adrenaline. I was an addict from the start, way before drugs. And, due to family issues, due to the lifestyle that my mother was living, I followed in her footsteps and I started living the same lifestyle, whatever that may have been. Getting and using and getting illegal money and using illegal drugs. It was all passed down to me through my family situation. And I don't want to tell a whole lot of war stories because everybody's got one. That's how we got here. I went from driving a BMW from my first car to sleeping on a park bench in Paterson, New Jersey. And I justified it in my head because why not sleep at the dope spot? Because when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to commute. And that's what I told myself, and I was okay, man. Somebody's got to be a drug addict, it might as well be me. And, PTI, probation, drug court, parole, the whole nine. I've been on it all, man. No consequence ever kept me clean. It didn't matter. The uncomfortability became comfortable. Like jail stopped becoming a consequence. Okay? It just, I adapted to the situation. It started becoming like a place to hang out with the boys and get clean and play some cards and learn how to run the streets better and maybe do this thing successfully. And for the first time in my life, right, how I got introduced to Fuck Heroin Foundation, which saved my life. I want to thank Frankie, I want to thank Alicia, I want to thank everybody else that was involved with that, now Robin, I've known her from the start. And, I can't make this thing up, man. I can't make up, there is no coincidences. It's all higher power. I call my drug dealer, right, one of my drug dealers in Paterson, New Jersey, and I'm getting ready to go to court to get sentenced, right, to like another 3 flat. Okay, and I call my drug dealer, and she says to me, drug dealer, drug user, Mike, you fucked up. When your drug dealer tells you that, something's not right. You know what I'm saying? You fucked up, man. I know this phone number that you can call, and maybe they can help you. I said, yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but right now I'm just looking for the next one. So, like, I went on with my business, and I got the next one, but I decided to call that phone number. Okay, so I call that phone number, and why, how, who knows, man? Higher power, they had the fucking, that person had the Fuck Heroin Foundation's number, man. So like I called that number, and I thought it was BS. I thought it was BS. I thought it was some type of scam, but like little did I know that I didn't know anything. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So like I talk to these people, man, and all they want is my best interest. That's all they wanted from me. They didn't want anything else from me. So I come down here on a whim, right? Like 26 years old, been to every state-ran shithole that you can possibly be in, no hope left. a bag full of dirty clothes, right, that had cigarette burn holes in them, some old-ass underwears and socks, some shoes that were all raggedy that had been about through 30 treatments. I got no hope left in me, you know what I mean? Not waking up in the morning started sounding like a better idea than waking up in the morning. You know, I don't know if anybody can identify with that. So, like, I call this number and, you know, they booked me a plane ticket and I come down to treatment for the 22nd time. Keep in mind, I've never completed one treatment in my life. You know, not one, you know. A couple days go by, Mike's ready to go back out there, man. Came in for an oil change, he's back ready to hit the street. So I come into this process, I come down here and I trust these people, you know. They don't send me to some shithole state-ran facility. You know, they sent me to a really good facility, man. You know, beyond my wildest dreams, you know. While I'm in that facility, it was suggested of me, maybe, just maybe, I should go to a halfway house, you know. So I said, maybe I'll try this thing out. Because, like, the dope spot ain't going to dry up. The liquor stores ain't going to close down. The dope man on the corner ain't going nowhere anywhere. You know, they're not going anywhere. You know, so I might as well try this thing. So, like, when it doesn't work, I can say it doesn't work and I can go back out there to do what I do. You know? And I haven't felt it necessary to use in 6 months and 3 days. You know, I've been locked up for a lot longer than that, but I don't count that time because I wasn't living right. You know, so here I am, and you know, I go to this treatment facility, and they suggested me to go to a halfway house. So I go to a halfway house, and then before I go to the halfway house, I met a man that I call my sponsor today. And, you know, something I did differently this time, I listened to everything that man told me to do. He told me not to get into a relationship. You want to know why? Because I used to go to rehab and go to meetings and, like, get a little 30-day chip and, like, you know, maybe get a little weight on or something like that and start looking for the females. Maybe I can meet my wife, you know? And that's some sick thinking, right? That's like shopping in the dented can aisle at ShopRite or some shit. It's just not a good idea. I don't have anything to offer at this point, you know? So, like, he told me to stay out of relationships, so I stayed out of relationships. You know, he told me to surround myself with men with time. I said, why do I want to do that, Sponge? You don't want to see me have any fun? You know, he just wanted to see me live, man, because I was dying. And so I work these steps, right? I work these steps, and I complete my steps, man. I get through all 12 steps. And I had a spiritual awakening. You know, I do 10, 11, and 12 on a daily basis. Those are my maintenance steps. You know, I'm in a position now where I can sponsor other men. You know, and the greatest joy I get is to see the lights turn on in somebody else's eyes, man. You know, like, I came down here to get sober, and all of a sudden a life evolved. You know, I didn't plan this, man. This is my higher power, man. I can't make this stuff up. You know, like, when I wake up in the morning today, I don't think about using. You know, and, you know, I got some things back, man. I came down here in a short amount of time. Like, some lunatic decided to give this lunatic a job. And, you know, I have a job today. And I have that job today due to Alcoholics Anonymous for doing the next right thing. You know, I don't have that job today because Mike got that job. I have that job today because my higher power in AA gave me that job. And through that job, I was able to open a bank account. I was able to buy a car. I was able to get a phone, man. I always had a flip phone for my whole life. I always had a flip phone my whole life. And, you know, I was able to buy some nice things, man. But it's not about material things, because material things could never fill that hole that was inside of me, man. You know, I've had nice things. I've had a bank account. I've had a halfway decent looking girlfriend. I've driven an Audi. I've had nice clothes. And guess what? At the end of the day, I still wanted to use. You know, and, you know, due to the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, whatever program you want to work, as long as it's a 12-step fellowship, I'm not opposed. But, you know, like, due to the steps and due to a sponsor and due to doing the next right thing, man, like, I can get through anything. Anything. I had my wisdom teeth pulled in the last 6 months. I've had 4 cavities filled in the last 6 months. I've had thousands of dollars of attorney bills in the last 6 months. I'm going home in 2 days, you know, first time in 6 months, I'm going home in 2 days to take care of court issues. And I say this stuff because all this is possible. You know, the Fuck Heroin Foundation made all this possible. Alcoholics Anonymous made all this possible. Me doing the next right thing made all this possible. You know, when I had no hope, you know, just a little, you know, like barely any hope, you know, it was a little glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, man. I just held on, man. My sponsor, Anthony Picone, man, home group, 12-time losers in Delray, he told me, man, Mike, just keep doing the next right thing. You know, keep doing the next right thing. And like, I kept doing the next right thing, man. My life is unbelievable. It's unbelievable today, man. And, I wouldn't be in the position that I was in if it wasn't for the Fuck Heroin Foundation, if it wasn't for Robin, if it wasn't for Leisha, if it wasn't for Frankie, if it wasn't for other people, man, that like helped me when I came in, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing, you know. I highly suggest, just the suggestions, because like the only suggestions you pay for are the ones you don't take. I highly suggest that if you haven't worked the 12 steps, then better get at it, because the definition of insanity, man, is not repeating the same thing over and over again expecting different results. It's being a part of a 12-step fellowship and not working the 12 steps.